Richard and Dalton, good morning to you and our viewers. It is indeed the festive season, and we know everyone is expected to be doing a lot of merrymaking as they head into the festive season. That is what is expected. And of course, the sheer joy of going out in the countryside, meeting family and friends is something or a culture that many Ugandans are used to. It should be a moment of merrymaking and joy and warmth. But unfortunately, we've seen many a times these trips turn out very fatal with road crashes of sheer proportions. And that is something that, from a festive period to a very tragic moment here and there. But it is something that, of course, the traffic department in this country has taken note of, and so has proactively come out to issue some guidelines for the festive season, for the motorists, for the pedestrians, and anyone that will be making a trip or driving or using the roadway. And of course, this is informed by some very unfortunate statistics. Just in the last 9 months, the country has registered more than 3,000 fatalities and about 12,000 crashes so far. That is 9 months, and we have we are at the end of this year, and of course we also know that over a period of time, December has been one of the most hit months when it comes to road crashes. What is the basis for such a sharp rise when it comes to road crashes in the country? That is something that we want to find out. And how is it being mitigated? These guidelines, what has changed? Will it see, lives saved? We're talking about the loss of lives here, something that, each one of us has a responsibility in ensuring does not happen, and that the festive season goes, very smooth. And so we want to find out what has changed. Over the period of time, or in previous years, we've noted, very stringent measures put in place, but we've also seen a number of these stringent measures being, broken, should we say. And of course, joining me this morning is the regional traffic officer for the Kampala area, and of course that is Superintendent of Police Oinebye. This morning joins me as we talk about the state of traffic, the state of the guidelines that we have today and how they will be implemented. Good morning, Afande.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, NBS, for coming to the field and working with us today.
Let's just get into it. The guidelines that you've issued, for those that are joining us this morning, kindly take us through some of the ones that you've currently introduced ahead of the festive season.
Thank you so much. The guidelines that we have put up, you heard from the Minister of Transport, General Katumba Amara, and the Director of Traffic, Assistant Inspector General of Police, Nwabine Lawrence. First and foremost, the reason why they have brought them is because of the increase in fatalities, and the numbers are alarming. If you may know that in East Africa, we are number 2 following Kenya, yet our numbers of vehicles are not so much, and we cannot continue like this. Last year alone in the festive seasons, we lost over 60 people in a period of 23rd December to 1st December. That number is very alarming. And we are seeing the most vulnerable. The most vulnerable person who is losing their lives is the pedestrian. And mind you, each and every one of us are pedestrians. You have come in your car, you have parked it, and you are crossing the road. And somehow, somewhere, somebody knocks you. And the motorcyclists, especially the border riders. We have seen a lot of fatalities happening in the border industry, and the pedestrians, they are the most vulnerable people.
Now, most vulnerable, Fande, what are those measures that you're putting in place right now to ensure that doesn't happen?
Now, as you may see, the reason why I brought you here around Mulago roundabout, the Ministry of Works and Transport and the KCCA have put up measures. You're seeing at least the pedestrian crossings, but unfortunately, Ugandans, most of us, our discipline is bad on the road. The pedestrian crossings, then we are ensuring that borders wear crash helmets, reflector jackets for visibility, so that even at night, a driver can see a border rider from far. Yes, please.
We're looking at this, being implemented over a period of time, but also just like the previous one, eventually, the adherence doesn't go all the way through. What changes now? What's different?
From the start of this year, when from the statistics of last year, when we saw the last year traffic report, implementation and enforcement of traffic laws started from last year, and you are going to see that most of the riders this time have gotten driving licenses. The challenge that we had before is that the riders did not have licenses. Indeed, 94% of all riders in the country did not have licenses. But at least by June, we registered over 40,000 getting driving licenses, going to driving schools that were provided by the Ministry of Works. Before, we didn't have these driving schools for border riders. We took them back. Now, we are also very passionate about mass transport. You've seen the guidelines on bus drivers. A bus that is going more than 300 kilometers, we are not allowing the return journeys. The reason is, after driving for 300 kilometers, it is natural you'll get tired. Unfortunately, businessmen want to make money in this time. So they want to make return journeys, and we see buses getting crashes because the driver is actually very tired. Now, we have different Fika Salama checkpoints. We make sure that a driver does not make that return journey. Secondly, each and every driver, bus driver, is supposed to have a driver's badge. And in that bus, there must be a picture of that driver. So we are monitoring this, because once you get a crash involving a bus, that means we are losing more than 70 people, which is absurd. Now, we are passionate about mass transport, both taxis, buses. You must have even a PSV. Your bus must be in a good mechanical condition. This festive season, we have intensified even operations of DMCs. So our IOVs are on the ground in different districts, in different regions. In Kampala Metropolitan, for example, we started these operations some time back. And that's why we are seeing some improvement. Yes.
I find that the operations, are we likely to see them intensify across the region, across different roads? But also, what are some of the consequences of some of the drivers that will be found outside of the law?
For example, starting last 2 months ago, we started checking drunk drivers on our checkpoints. We are doing drink drive Kaunyamu that we know, Kaunyamu both day and night on major checkpoints. If you are a taxi driver, if you are a bus driver, please do not test alcohol. Now, once we get you, when you are driving a PSV, now I know there is a ticket of 200,000, but if you're driving a PSV vehicle, you are taking passengers and you are intoxicated, my friend, you are not going to eat Christmas. You have to go to Zira after some time, that's when you will come out. Because we have noticed that sometimes once we give these people a ticket of 200,000, he goes and pays, and tomorrow he repeats the same issue. So we are working together with the DPP, and we are taking these people to court, especially drink drivers, overspeeding. If you notice, overspeeding is killing our people. People do not want to step on that brake. Then I have noticed that we do not plan our journeys very well. People do not want to rest enough. Everyone wants to drive at their own will without planning. I'm calling upon all Ugandans that after 2 kilometers, you can even stop. Then these phones, WhatsApp has killed us. The phones, each and everybody wants to have a phone. When you check here on Jam, you'll find some people even are text driving. We are here, and we are going to arrest you. We are going to give you tickets. Enforcement is at high gear. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Afand, of course, we know you have a very busy morning. We'll let you go. Well, there you heard it. We are expecting intensified operations on the roads in Kampala and across the different regions as we head into the festivities. It is a reminder that accidents have so far claimed 64% of pedestrians and motorcyclists. They are the most affected. But yet again, a reminder that the safety of lives on these roads is for each and every one of us as a stakeholder. And so as we head into the festivities, what are you doing to ensure you reach safely and you find your loved ones in one piece? That is what we all ought to think about. But for now, Mildred and Dalton, back to you at the Political Command Center.
All right.